What difficulty does this latest coming spread offense present?
Well, I think the biggest concern is tempo. You know, they're so fast, and you know, the thing about being fast, it just takes a player so much out of his routine, and especially in our situation where, you know, spring ball training camp, you know, we had a huddle offense, and so I didn't see that on a regular basis. So, you know, but it's a problem for anybody, and that's why they've had so much success. You know, it limits your package somewhat, but the main thing is that players got to quickly recognize, and they're used to being able to take the time and see a lot and develop thought process. And when it's fast, they just don't have the same opportunity. And so you got to see a lot quickly, and you got to quickly develop a thought process quickly, and be able to function and execute your technique within scheme. And it's you know, again, it's problematic.
How concerning is that, given that what we just talked about after Saturday's game, that tempo was a concern this past week? It's been a concern all season on those game-opening scripted drives you spoke about, and those end-of-half drives, the beginning of the second half. Those are the concerns that you've raised just as past Saturday.
Yeah, they are. They're definite concerns, and you know, we're trying to simulate as best we can fast tempo out there in practice, and not only get our guys, you know, ready for this ball game, but we've definitely had problems with it. We need to get a better, you know, established concept in respects to, again, a short period of time, see a lot, develop a thought process, and certainly communicate. You know, we've got to get better in all those areas.
Gene talked about doing 2 huddles to try and combat that. How has that been going so far?
It was not bad today. Yeah, it was pretty good, fairly well done, I think. We were really fast, which we needed to do. But I thought overall the guys did a respectable job with it, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get better.
It's a weird question to ask. Maybe you didn't have the perspective of following them last year, whatever. But their quarterback seems to fit into their system pretty well, helping it be a quick transition. What do you see from him, and how come he works so well in the system?
Well, I mean, he presents a lot of problems because he's, you know, he's their leading rusher, and he's got tremendous ability to create with his feet. So he's extremely problematic. And again, they've designed an offense to take advantage of that, do a lot of things with him. You know, whether it's spread out and run quarterback draws and such, but you know, he's a handful because, again, he's a good athlete that's creative.
Is Gabe Wright in a groove right now? Is Gabe Wright in a groove right now?
In a groove? He's a developing player. You know, he's a developing player. He's ascending right now. A lot of work to do still. So no, I wouldn't say he's in the groove, but he's, you know, he's headed in the right direction.
Right now, on the defensive tackles, is that just an ongoing thing, or you're getting Carter some more reps?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, it's ongoing, and it's competitive, and it's you know, a position that we're looking for more production out of.
Can you put your finger on why, with the defensive line, you look at the depth, you look at a lot of these guys were highly recruited, and you know, why they're just not making the plays behind the line of scrimmage, not making a lot of tackles in the run game? Can you put your finger on what's going on there?
Again, I'd say that you know, I don't know about the recruited part of it. That doesn't really mean a lot, you know, to me. They're all developmental. They're young players, you know. Some of them got playing time as true freshmen. They're still really young players, and we've got to see, you know, we've got to continue to push the developmental part of it, try to speed up the process, and see what kind of players they're going to be. You know, it's a question mark still.
Do you see potential as future playmakers at that position? Do you see some guys with that type of potential?
You know, right now we're working for, you know, consistent dependability. Impact players, they're too far from that. You know? I think their experience and wisdom in the game in future years will help that. right now gaining a consistency and being responsible and in their jobs right now is really, you know, what we're looking for, and hopefully the, you know, the production part will, you know, continue to grow. I don't know exactly what that means right now, where they're going to be in the end, but we're trying to get them to be good, solid SEC players right now.
Brian, how do you think Cass did last week, and what do you think his role is going to be this week?
Well, you know, he made a lot of mistakes. And, but again, I think I said this after the game, I have a great amount of respect for the efforts that he put in to getting ready for the game. And I knew that there would be, you know, some mental errors out in the field. I think the thing that I did like with him that I questioned in training camp, and again, you know, young high school kid coming in, you don't want to really over-profile a guy because he's so young, but he competed through the game, and that was important for me to see, because, you know, the toughness part of this game is extremely important, both mentally and physically, and he held up in that area, and that's important. And of course, you know, you saw the physical traits show up, you know, a couple plays where he was able to run and make plays that a lot of guys, you know, just can't do that.
Well, I mean, obviously Texas A&M is going to be more taxing from an intellectual standpoint. Is he ready for that challenge? Or are you going to change how you musically play?
Well, no, he's not. He's not ready. You know, he's not ready. But, you know, within our system, we can keep it to a point where I think he can function well. And again, hopefully, with the space of the field, you'll see, you know, his ability to run and make plays, you know, show up. But I mean, this will be his first adventure in a game where the tempo is, you know, like it is. Last week he saw it, you know, a few times here and there where it happened quick, and it really didn't affect him. You know, the ball was out on the perimeter. So this one will be, you know, a difficult thing, and another piece of the learning process for him.
How much more do you depend on Bates with him on the field, just to kind of help him out and to make some of those calls and checks and things?
A lot, and I think Darren's doing a good job coming along in that area, you know. And I heard him a number of times talking to him out there today. So I think that's important. I think it's very important.
Thank you.